Hi, welcome to the Lenscap Chronicles. My name's Amanda, and this weekend we're in the tiny Gulf country of Bahrain. I've been here on quite a few trips now. It's really popular for Western expats who are living in the Gulf countries such as Saudi Arabia, United Arab Emirates, Qatar, to all flock here on a weekend, let their hair down and relax, shall we say. I've arrived here from Abu Dhabi. It's a 55-minute flight, would you believe? Everywhere in the Gulf you can get to on a 1-hour flight, which is amazing as an expat. There's a few of the guilty pleasures that aren't available in some of the more conservative Gulf countries. So it's really vibrant on a weekend. It can get quite busy on the roads. If you are visiting as a first-time visitor, I would highly recommend getting a car because it can be a little bit tricky to get around the place. For the evenings, of course, to catch a taxi, but if you want to explore some of the other places, then make sure to hire a car. But besides that, there's also a few really quaint things that you can do here. So if you are intrigued by this lesser well-known country, it's really worth coming for a few days. I have written about Bahrain extensively on my travel website, some of my recommendations and tips of what you should see. But off the top of my head, I would say the Tree of Life, which is this strange anomaly of a tree that grows somehow in isolation in the desert. There's various theories as to its water source and how it's been sustained for all of these years when there is literally nothing else around it. Second, very close to that, is one of the oldest oil wells in the Gulf region. So that's very interesting, particularly for the very fact that the Middle East is just so well known for its oil production. At the base of the island, there's also an island off of the island called Hawar Island. It's very close to the border with Qatar, and it's currently under renovation. We went there in the past few years and it's a huge conservation effort. So you can go to one of the world's largest Socotra breeding islands. You can go and see dugongs. There are an amazing display of osprey in the evenings, exquisite sunsets. So stay tuned for when that reopens because it promises to be absolutely brilliant and really great for sustaining the economy and wildlife in the region. Additionally to these things, you can go and see a few fortresses and they'll open your eyes up to the Arabia of old. It's fun to walk through them, and if you're an Instagrammer, it's the place for you to go. Aside from this, if you are after just a really relaxing weekend, you can find a handful of resorts here. We've been fortunate enough to stay in a few of them. My favourites so far have been the Ritz-Carlton, the Gulf Hotel, currently the Reef Boutique Hotel where I am at now, and the Sofitel Zalak Thalassa Spa, which has a really incredible swim-up bar. Another place that I really enjoyed visiting was the Gold Souk. Now, if you've been to Dubai and you've been to Old Dubai, the Gold Souk there can be a little bit of a mission, particularly if you visit as a single female. You'll feel a little bit hassled and harassed, to be honest. Everyone's vying for your attention, wanting you to buy their piece of jewelry. Bahrain Gold Souk, I didn't feel that way. I went alone and I felt really safe. I wasn't harassed, I wasn't hassled, I barely was called at by anyone, and I could just walk along and explore the souk. It was a really pleasant experience. Very close by that, I bought a really special pearl, and before the advent of oil production in the Middle East, Bahrain was really well known for its pearl diving. So it's amazing to come here and pick up your own personalized freshwater pearl, knowing that it's fully guaranteed as a freshwater pearl. You'll get a certificate, and it's a lovely tribute to their past and a really special gift to be able to give yourself or someone else. It's a really long-lasting and beautiful memory I have of my first trip to Bahrain. This is now about my 7th trip here, so I will be chilling, relaxing for the rest of my time here. I plan tomorrow to hit the beach, sit on a sunbed and not do too much exploring until perhaps the evening. We might go out and have a nice dinner. We're tossing up between my favorite Japanese place called Bushido, where you sit at a bench and they make teppanyaki in front of you. Last time they got me up to try and catch an egg on my hat as we were trying to prepare a dish. It's very interactive and fun. Another place that's a little bit less well known is called Crazy Dave's, and this sounds hilarious, but he does the best Thai you will experience here. It's exquisite food. Anyway, there are so many restaurants here. I'm sure you'll find good food, but they're two of my favorite. down to the beach. But I thought I would just add a little spiel on what the value for money is like in the Middle East. If you're someone who enjoys a beer blender pool, you're going to be very disappointed after you've wrapped up the bill. I've probably got a savvy little tip for you. The local currency is the dinar, the Bahraini dinar, and 1 BD is approximately 2.6 US dollars at present. So we just went down to check out the menu for the drinks. 1 beer is 4 BD here. So I'm just going to show you what we managed to pick up for 4 BD down at the local supermarket. This is our bag of mixes. So we've already picked up a bottle of gin from the airport duty free, and this entire bag we got for 4 BD just down at the local supermarket. Soda water, tonic, and we've got roughly 10 to 15 cans in here. Yeah, so this is going to see us out for the day, hopefully for tomorrow as well, and this is a massive saving. If you're wanting to spend an entire fortune by the pool, then by all means, but this is just a simple way to try and minimise those costs. We're heading down to the pool now. So after our cracking evening exploring Adlia last night in Bahrain, we are now waking up, heading back to the pool. Hopefully you enjoyed the few snippets I took of some of the different bars and clubs in Adlia. It's a really fun vibe. It changes all the time. It's been a few years since I've been there and there are so many new bars popping up all around Adlia. But for now, it's back to the pool we go. Well, thanks for joining me on this little foray to Bahrain this weekend. It's a really great place to come just for a quick and easy getaway if you're living in the Middle East region. There's something for everyone, whether that's a nice luxury resort, an evening out, or some beach and pool time. So consider putting it into your weekend plans. Over and out. So we have just one last little stop before the airport. Arad Fort is a 15th century fortress and it's on the way to the airport, so it's easy to fit in if you want to see something cultural in your weekend trip to Bahrain. And it's got some magnificent views across the bay. You can see some of the old dhow boats, which are the traditional wooden boats, and we are just going to have a quick look inside the fortress and then sadly back to the airport. Well, we're at the top of the fortress now. It's really remarkable actually. You can see all the seashells stuck inside, fossilised forever inside this Arad fortress.
This is actually how they can make so much oil in this region, because of all of the seashells and organic matter that gets trapped underground. Okay, so now to negotiate our way back down and sadly off to the airport.